everybody. Welcome back to Strategy in Small Doses. I'm so excited for you to be here with me today because I have another amazing guest expert with me that I'm going to be interviewing. I have Miss Donna Tashjian with me with Vibrant Living. And Donna and I met through a networking group that we both joined online. And it's just been amazing. It's so amazing how many people you can meet and just all over the country, all over the world. And I'm just so excited to interview her today. So I'm going to give a quick little brief bio on Donna, and then I'm going to pass the mic over to her for her to really tell us, a little bit more about her story, how she got started, and what she is passionate about. So Donna is the founder of Vibrant Living International, a nonprofit organization. She's also a life mastery coach, an ordained minister, a fellow podcaster, and an author. She helps bring accelerated transformation to people across the world. Her passion really is to help you reach your full potential. She specializes in helping you turn your baggage into luggage so you can live the life of your dreams using and developing your spiritual intelligence. Donna has been speaking and coaching for over 20 years. Donna, you speak my language when you talk about living and loving life. So please tell us a little bit more about you, who you are, how you got started, and a little bit more about your journey.
Oh, well, I am a wife. And that, to me, those are some of the most favorite things. I'm a wife of almost 37 years. And I'm a mom of 3 married kids. And I have 8 grandchildren and 1 great-granddaughter as well. So those are my favorite things in the world. And personally, I love tea. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker. And I love jazz and flowers. So those are some personal things about me. And I love to read. And so I'm enjoying the book we're reading together too. So
yes, we're in a book club together right now.
Yes. So it's just so amazing with technology being able to make some relationships that I think are going to really last and be able to develop these kind of things, because we're both big on relationships. Absolutely. And that's my focus. As far as Vibrant Living goes, my passion is to help caring women rise above a painful past, the disappointments of life, so that they can actually live the life they've always dreamed with confidence and ease. And as it was mentioned a little bit in my bio, my signature program is called Turning Your Baggage into Luggage. And the how to rise above, how do we deal with disappointments? There has been so many painful moments for a lot of people this past year, and learning how to, it affected a lot of people's business, a lot of different situations. And so it's more relevant today than ever, but we all have painful things, perhaps even in our past. And one of the things women are known for is saying we're okay when we're not really okay.
Yep. Very true.
And so learning to help women do that is what I do every day. And I love it.
Well, I love that. I mean, I love that you love to empower women. And,
yes.
It's true, though. I mean, how many times do we say, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, all the time? It's just like the standard answer. No, everything's good, and the reality is it's not, So, all right, Donna, based on all of that, like if you could give one tip for business, personal, professional growth based on who you serve, your industry, how you, just in general, what do you see? What would that be?
Well, one of my coaches said to me that was super powerful for me as I was getting Vibrant Living going. But if I'd have known it before, I think it would have impacted everything. So many times when we're pretending, like we get into overwhelm, we get into fear, we get into those kind of moments where we say we're fine and we're slamming cupboards. And, as women, we have to be okay. Most of the time, there isn't a downtime to be not okay. And so learning that how to walk that out is one of the things both you and I help women do, is how to process the moments I'm not okay so that you can move forward with power. But one of the favorite things that was said, the quotes that I got from my coach, was to live every day as if success was inevitable. And one day I called my coach and I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how this is, I don't know what I'm going to do. What is my next step? And she said something, do you realize when you're in overwhelm, you're actually picturing it not working?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I stopped and I went, am I? And I got to thinking about it, and I was. I was thinking that I wasn't going to make this work, or I wasn't going to make, it wasn't going to turn out well. I was going to fail, that big word, fail. And I was focusing on it not working.
Right.
And that creates overwhelm, because if I think it's going to work, I'm not in overwhelm.
Right.
And so she was telling me to get up every day and behave and make choices as if it was going to work, as if success was inevitable. I mean, that affects us. Your kids are going to turn out okay. Your business is going to turn out okay. Your job is going to turn out okay. So act like that, and it changes everything. Which brings me to, what am I focused on? Am I focusing on all the things that are wrong in my life, or am I focusing on the things that are going well? Because that creates a completely different set of actions, thoughts, and therefore results.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
It's so easy to focus on what's going wrong, right? Because it's at the forefront of your mind. When something goes wrong, it's like immediately you feel like it's just slapping you in the face all the time. And so it's easy to focus on that. And it's actually, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day. She was telling me all this, and it's easy to help other people focus on what's going right and to see it from the outside. But sometimes doing it for yourself is really hard. And I easily was like, why are you so focused on this one thing that didn't go right? Like, you've got this going on, this going on, this going on, all these amazing things, but you're focused on this one little thing that's just not going right. And it's so easy to do it for other people, but it's so hard to do it for ourselves.
So I begin to get up every day and say, I'm going to proceed as if success is inevitable. And it helped me to shift my focus from all of my fears, because there are fears. They aren't necessarily true.
Right.
And I began to shift my focus, and I got up every day and proceeded as if success was inevitable. So if I made that phone call, if I shot that video, if I called that, whatever your activities were, act as if it was going to have positive results, rather than me saying, you don't really want to buy from me, do you?
I know. It's funny that we are our own worst enemies, for sure, and it's amazing, just those small little mindset shifts. And I'm sure you help your clients with that every single day. They come with, like you said, this baggage. It's just this baggage that we're carrying around with, for what real reason? And I love your, turn that baggage into luggage and take off, like go, fill that baggage up, fill it up and take off. So I think you've already given us an immediate action. I love your mantra, whatever you call it. I know we all have probably a different, but the way you get up every morning and say, I'm going to proceed today as if success is inevitable. But aside from that, what is another action that listeners can take right now if they're feeling in that state of overwhelm? If they're feeling like, how do I turn that baggage into luggage? And they're just not sure, like, what is one small step they can take right now listening to this?
One of the things that we do when we're pretending we're okay is we have to process our fears. And one of the action, every coach has a different exercise, but my exercise is to do a brain dump, to get out all of your fears, all of your concerns, and then write the truth. Because most of our fears are not truth. I'm not a failure. I'm not whatever labels we put on each other, but to get it out and not to pretend, because when we're stuffing it, it's going to come back out again. And so to get it out on paper, I then write promises or affirmations that are actually the truth, that are the opposite of those statements. Nobody's going to want to hear your message. Mine instead is, my people will hear my message and resonate with it. Whatever it is that you're fearing, you begin to do that, because as we eliminate the fears, replace it with the truth, then our actions follow, and then our results change. So process it. Don't pretend. Find someone, either yourself and paper, or find somebody you can talk to, but process the fears, replace it with truth, and then move on.
I love your the replacing it with truth in the sense of saying like, my people will hear my message. I think so often we're too focused on the big, like it's not about everybody and what everybody else is doing or what everybody else's message. It's really about honing in and focusing on what is it that you're looking for. And I think that action right there is so powerful, is to really, really focus on what is your truth, not everybody else's truth. Because I think that's why sometimes when you do those exercises, I know for myself, I found that like when you try to repeat affirmations that other people have written, they're not always your truth. So what is it that's your truth?
Absolutely.
What is it that means the most to you?
One of the examples my coach gave me was, whatever industry, I'm a coach. So it was talking to a coach, and whatever industry you are, and I know you help your clients do this, is how many clients do you actually need a year? Mm-hmm. And for me to make a good living, it's 10 to 15. I don't need 100,000 people. Right. I need 10 to 15 to be able to do what I need. And, of course it's grown since I talked to her then, but it's like, we think we need, 100,000 people and everybody's got to like this, but I don't. I just need to get connected. And so that I'm more authentic, and the more I am with my message, the right people will then respond with whatever that is. And me, that was a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality is how many of us really want 100,000 or 100?
Exactly.
Like it's not even possible.
It's not even possible.
We let ourselves get into this state of fear and overwhelm with something that's not even remotely possible or something we would ever even want, which is crazy. And that's where these stories in our head just can trip you up. Like you said, fears, they're not even true. Like that's not even a true statement. Like, oh, I need the masses. No, you don't. Like, I don't want them. Please.
Absolutely.
It's not about that. So that's awesome. I really appreciate those tips. So I think that is an amazing tip. So if you're listening right now and you're feeling like that, really take the time to go through it, like she said, and process it with yourself, and get those truths, get that out of your head, get those fears, those lies basically out of your head, and then turn them into your truth. That was a really, really great little tip there. So take the time to do that. It's those little things that make such a big difference, really, in your everyday life and just moving forward into that vibrant living state. So, Donna, I'm going to make sure that everybody has access to this through the show notes, but I want to talk a little bit about your ebook that you wrote. It's called An Umbrella on a Sunny Day. And what an amazing resource. It's a PDF ebook, I assume, on your website that people can get. Talk to us a little bit more about that and who it's for and why they might want to go check it out.
When we're carrying some type of baggage around, we've had pains and disappointments in our life. There is a part of our brain that thinks if I prepare for the bad, I'll be better off. If you've been hurt by a relationship, we often prepare by being on guard or being protective. And so the umbrella on a sunny day is how we always prepare for the other shoe to drop. And remember, what you focus on, you're empowering. And so therefore we're empowering the negative that we don't even want to happen. And it really doesn't help. It's the opposite of living every day as if success is inevitable. Right. And so the book is full of my personal stories. I get really real, and some of my personal, really raw stories are included. And then it has some keys on how to not do that. How do we not prepare all the time for the other shoe to drop so that we can really be and live to our fullest potential? Because if I'm pulling back from you, I can never be the best me. Right. So how can I live fully present and really be the best me? And that's what this book is about.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. And I love that you said that you share some really raw and vulnerable stories, because so often we think we're alone, and when you can hear the stories of other people, like, oh yeah, she's been there, done that too, or she's going through the same thing. I have a client right now that keeps saying to me, I can't believe I'm at this. And I'm like, you're not alone. Like, stop thinking you're the only person in the world that's in this position. Like, you're not. Well, none of us are. Whether it's personal, professional, it doesn't matter. We're all very similar in a lot of ways, and sharing and hearing those stories just makes it so much more relatable. It's like, okay, we can get through this. So I will make sure that everybody, you can grab that link in the show notes. It's completely free. It's an ebook. So definitely go through, download it, grab a cup of coffee or tea, as Donna would grab, or a glass of wine maybe, and dive right into that ebook. And Donna, if everybody wants to get a hold of you, if they want to talk to you a little bit further, if they have baggage and they really want to turn it into luggage, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
They can reach me on Facebook, and my name will be spelled in the show notes. You can message me there, and then we can talk more. You can also visit my website. There's a bunch of free resources. My website isivibrantliving.com. Either way, reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure all of those links are in the show notes just to make it easier for everybody. But please, I really encourage you to connect with Donna. Just have a cup of tea with her, if nothing else. I mean, that's how this started. This is how I met her. This is how our relationship started. Look, you never know where these relationships are going to turn into, what opportunities they're going to present. So do get on the phone, have a chat with Donna, and see where it goes. All right. And Donna, is there anything else you'd like to add? Any last minute thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, I think the thoughts that I've shared really, I don't want to overwhelm with it all, get too many. Yeah. So live every day as a success is inevitable.
That is what a beautiful note to end that on. And I'm going to carry that with me from here on out as well. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we will talk soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.